Hi, I'm Father Joseph Tregre at St. Genevieve Catholic Church and School. I just want to welcome you into the gift of Lent this year. Lent is one of the most exciting times of the year for me as a priest. In a sense, Lent is a time that we re-encourage one another to enter into the life of Christ. Christ who has saved us, Christ who has blessed us, Christ who invites us to a new beginning each and every Lent. So I just want to invite you into the question, how is Christ inviting me into a new beginning this Lent? What new beginning is the Lord calling me into? What sense of renewal is the Lord calling me into? In a sense, as we watched the Israelites journey with Moses through the desert, the Lord was calling them into renewal. The Israelites had been enslaved in Egypt for many, many years. In a sense, in that slavery, God wanted to pull them into renewal. And so he sent Moses, a prophet, to them and freed them from the slavery of Egypt. Sometimes for us in our lives, we experience types of slavery, types of being bound or bondage. And the Lord wants to set us free. He wants to set us free from anything in our hearts that takes away our freedom. In a sense, Lent is a time of renewal and a time of freedom. It's not so much about the penances that they're, in a sense, being constraining or restricting, but it's calling us to freedom. And how is the Lord calling me to perhaps let go of some things in my life that are keeping me from the true freedom that He wants for me in my life? Just as He freed the Israelites from the slavery of Egypt and brought them renewal as they journeyed to the Promised Land. And as Moses had journeyed with the Israelites, they met different challenges on the way. They had to meet the challenge of where they would find their nourishment in the desert, where they would find the water to drink, different challenges along the way. But yet the Lord continually provided for them. But they really had to be faithful and surrender to the Lord. In a sense, in our lives, at times, we face many challenges. Perhaps during these 4 days of Lent, there will be unexpected challenges that we'll face. And perhaps the Lord's going to call us to a deeper place of surrender. In a sense, I believe Lent is not only about the penances that we have or the sacrifices that we make, whether it's giving up sugary drinks or giving up snacks, other types of fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. But sometimes the Lord invites us to surrender more deeply to Him in some of the situations or circumstances of our life. Perhaps it's a loved one who is sick. Perhaps it's a work-related issue. Perhaps it's something with our children that we may be struggling with, or any other challenges that life naturally brings along the way that can kind of disrupt our lives. Perhaps Lent can be a time of being able to be obedient to the Lord and being able to accept the challenges that He brings us and to come to a greater place of surrender. In a sense, we never know what challenges the Lord will bring us during Lent. So the Lord invites us to freedom this Lent. He invites us to renewal. As we continue the journey towards this Lent, we also recognize that the Israelites were able to enter into the Promised Land. That land flowing with milk and honey ultimately was the end of their journey. In a sense, they came into that fuller communion with the Lord. And so lastly, and in conclusion, this Lent, the Lord's calling us into that fuller relationship with Him. Having let go of the idols of Egypt and that idolatry, the Lord calls us to receive Him, to grow in our relationship with Him. So how is your prayer life? How is your communion with the Lord? How is the Lord calling you to renewal in your faith with Him? Because God wants to bless you this Lent. He wants to fill you with His peace. He wants to fill you with His joy. So let us all together pray for each other here at St. Genevieve this Lent. Let us support one another through our practices of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Let us be obedient to God's will in our life. And let us surrender joyfully unto the Lord and allow us to be the best Lent ever.